Welcome to Mike's Harder Podcast. We're going to tell you like it is, whether you like it or not. I'm Joe.
I'm Colton.
If you'd like to reach us,
you can reach us at Mike's Harder Podcast at gmail.com.
So, tonight's topic.
Introductions.
I'm Joe. I like all kinds of weird shit. I'm real into politics. And I like guns, and I hate the government.
How old are you?
Old enough to know better, young enough not to care.
That's such a cop-out answer.
I'm 45.
Why don't you tell everybody what you do for a living? I'm sure they'd all be interested to know.
I rebuild antique carburetors for tractors and distributors for tractors.
Sounds pretty interesting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Every one of them's different. Love my job. Hate Sundays because I can't wait to get back to work. I love it. I love it. Everything is different. Everyone's a new challenge.
What is your most and least favorite carb to rebuild?
Not a fan of Zenith because they're aluminum. They're like this cast aluminum. And anybody who knows anything about screwing brass or steel into aluminum knows that you get this. It galls. They're junk.
Okay. What about your favorite?
I'm a fan of Marvel Sheblers, but I love the oddball stuff. When
the one-offs.
Yeah, somebody brings me a Warborough or some shit. That's fun.
Something that's a challenge. It's something you actually have to look into and figure out how to do.
Series 1904 Hollies. Done a bunch of those for just random guys, and those are fun. But I really like the automotive shit, but I don't get paid to do those. I get paid to do fucking carburetors for tractors.
You just got to get your boss to buy something carbureted so that you have a reason to work on the automotive shit.
He's got one, and it has a Zenith on it that's a freaking agricultural. He bought an old International, or well, somebody gave him an old International.
I was more talking like you need to get him to buy like a Mustang or something.
I need to get him to buy a '67 Mustang. That's what I need to do. That way I keep all the parts that he doesn't need.
For yours.
Yeah. What about you?
I am 25. Definitely old enough to know better. Still never gave a shit. I am a mechanical engineer over in Pioneer.
In other words, overachiever.
More like underachiever these days. It's all new to me since I'm pretty new, so there's been quite a few things that I've been messing up lately. But it was kind of interesting. We had a machine that one of the engineering managers was trying to make it cycle, and he broke a shaft because it wasn't all the way put together, I don't think. And it kind of made me feel better about my mess ups because he's been there for 10 years and he's still screwing shit up.
I saw a bull break a shaft once. It looked really, really painful. He's standing in the middle of a field, and his pecker was, the size of a number 2 pencil. But it was like 8 foot long, but it was broke in the middle, and he's standing in the field like, yeah, it looked horrible.
Oh man. Jesus Christ, Joe. But yeah, so I'm working at a place where we design machinery for like Goodyear and Cooper, which Goodyear now owns Cooper. American Bath, we have a trim cell for them. Which I like the one-off stuff, but that American Bath project has been there for 2 years, I think. Just a pile of money. It's just a fucking money pit. And yesterday, they were making some changes to the booth, and they didn't shut power down to the machine before they unhooked the robots. And Jared said that he got a fault for the amplifier part of the robot that he thinks was found fried and the robot's junk. And there's 2 of them in there. So we could potentially have to fork out money for 2 brand new robots.
You know what I hate is when somebody gets one of my builds and they have an issue with it. 9 times out of 10, it's the end user that is the problem. I'll
Right.
get it back and all the adjustments are way out, and or they've worse, they've cracked something.
Right.
No, it won't seal because you drew it up uneven and you broke the damn mounting flange. You have a giant vacuum leak, you moron. Oh, and then to try to rectify it, tell them no, we're not giving you credit for it. Well, you have to. Sorry, my guy.
It's unusable.
You sold it to a customer that used a hammer instead of a wrench, and I can't.
I swear to God, some of those ones when I was working there that came in almost looked like somebody took a breaker bar with a pipe to it for fittings.
Yeah.
All you need is a wrench. You don't need a ratchet and an extension and all this other crap.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're passionate about other than vagina?
Am or used to be or still are? Which
Currently.
Currently? Really just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work and current events.
Yeah. I bury myself in the news, trying to pay my house off. I'm in the teens at this point. I'm
Well, shit, you could have that paid off in a year.
good.
Well, all things going well.
I'm at like 19 and change.
Yeah.
I definitely will have it paid off before I'm 50.
Well, that's good.
If not, I'm a fucking slacker. I've been paying, extra on my mortgage every month. I need to change the way I do it because I haven't been paying it like principal only.
Yeah.
I've just been putting $100 extra on my house payment.
How do you change it differently so that that extra $100 goes to the principal?
If you just go to your, 'cause I do mine online, so if you put $100, you can actually put principal only,
Oh,
and then
it's a separate transaction then.
yeah, and then go to your regular monthly payment and pay that off. Pay the monthly payment.
Okay.
Then that 100 wouldn't go. It wouldn't have any interest on it. But I've just been paying $100 extra every month, but it's dropping so fast. Well, when I refinanced for 11 years or 10 years. So, but it's coming down fast. My goal is to have it paid off before I'm 50. Like maybe 48.
Yeah.
48, I think, is my goal. I think I'd probably lay in bed and rub myself if I paid it off at 48. I would be extremely happy. I couldn't get hard, but at least I'd rub myself.
I don't know about those issues yet.
It happens.
Well, I mean, I used to know about those issues, but that wasn't because of me. That was because of what I was doing.
Well, snowstorms.
Yeah.
They happen.
Hey, man, Christmas time comes year-round some places.
It's not a house, it's a trap.
Funniest thing is your relative and his let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
We probably ought to say something about our friend Jared that donated these mic stands, which mine is taller than yours because...
Well, hell, your mic stand is taller than he is.
Oh, that's true. But yeah, he just sent me a text. I told him we were doing our podcast, and
Yeah, what do you have to say?
he said as long as it's not big truck compensation. He doesn't remember I have a big truck.
Yeah, but it's not lifted and everything. It's just a big truck.
It's just a big truck. It's also a big white truck.
could get in trouble in
That,
some parts.
I'm going to trigger some people, but it's a big white truck. Oh, and by the way, the air conditioning in that thing works like a motherfucker. And it's from 1990, and it's never been recharged. So it's like a big fucking white Eskimo.
A big white Eskimo. Yeah, no, there were white Eskimos.
I think they are if you freeze them.
So tell me a little bit about your childhood and growing up. You know, you lived in Idaho for a while.
I was born in Caldwell, Idaho. I've lived in Caldwell, Idaho. I've lived in Jordan, Utah. I moved to Ohio in 1989, I think.
God, you're old.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking old. Yeah, 5th grade, I moved to Idaho. It's been a shit show.
Yeah, but whose life isn't a shit show?
Divorced my parents when I was 17. Became an emancipated adult. Got married. Got divorced. Got married again in early 2000. Moved back to fucking Idaho. Opened a fucking car repair place. And due to family bullshit, closed my business, sold my shit, and moved back to fucking Ohio. And I've been back here since 2009. Don't ever plan on fucking moving again. Bought the same house I sold when I moved, so.
I bet it looks better than when you sold it. I know it looks better than when I first started hanging out. I remember putting this tabletop on and everything.
I liked it. I liked it before I sold it, but you know, I'll deal with it.
Kind of makes me. I've been going through. I don't want to call it a midlife crisis, but I've been going
Midlife crisis. You're fucking how old?
25.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't want to. That's why I said I don't want to call it a midlife crisis. But I've been going through this weird thought of how short life is, and how much there is that I'd like to do, and it doesn't seem like there's enough time. I know there's plenty of time, but it doesn't seem like there's enough time. And now that I'm thinking about it, listening to you talk about the things and the places that you've lived in your life, I'm thinking to myself, well, shit, I've lived in Ohio since I was born, and I'm only 25. I almost can't go through a thing like that because I don't have a thing like that. And it's making me kind of a little bit less weary.
But you have lived through things that I have not. Like, okay, tell me about your mom.
She died when I was 14 in 2012.
Right. Something I didn't have to deal with.
It was about 10 months after my best friend died. He got shot accidentally, actually just about 4 blocks from here. So that was rough. But I don't think that I would have gotten in as much trouble as I had she not passed away. But I also don't think that I would be the person that I am today either.
Yeah, that's probably true. And your dad?
Oh, he's never really been in the picture.
Financially,
Nah.
physically?
Not really. As far as I know, he paid his child support, but I'm pretty sure it was like $40 or $50 a month. So
Well, at least you got that, because up until I think I could sue until I was 21. My biological, he didn't.
yeah,
He never paid shit.
which I never wanted that. I didn't care about that. He could have paid $1,000 a month, and it wouldn't have made any difference to me. I wouldn't have cared because of that, you know. But
Your grandparents always have taken good care of you, though.
I know they've almost been a little too soft though, especially when I was in high school. I think they kind of
ain't
just
no
let me do
shit.
whatever the fuck
That
I
is
want.
no shit. I shit myself. Call me off.
Hey man, you pull into the school parking lot with a stomach infection and shit your pants going to walk in, you're getting in your car and going home too.
I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just saying that's pretty soft because I could have told you to, change your pants to go to school.
Hell no, I went in, I laid down, and I went back to sleep. Then I got a finger in my ass like 2 days later. The fucking ER.
Yeah, wait till you're my age. When they told me I had to get a colonoscopy, like fucking 7 or 8 months ago, I was like, "Dang, go fuck yourself. Nobody's putting nothing up my ass." Now I'm in fucking pain, and I'm like, man, if that's what it takes, let's put that thing up my
I
butt.
still think you shouldn't drink the day before.
Why?
Because
They said clear liquid, so I'm gonna get Bacardi Silver and apple juice.
dude, if you call them and they tell you can drink Bacardi Silver, I will personally pay for your fucking colonoscopy.
Game on, game on. I'm fucking totally buying.
Because there is
I'm doing
no
it.
way they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, go ahead, buddy. They're gonna be like, that's an awful idea, but
There's nothing in my paperwork that says I can't have alcohol. It just says clear liquids.
the alcohol could be what's inflaming the.
That's what they want me to believe.
It's not some conspiracy theorist.
Yes, yes it is.
This isn't some conspiracy where they're like, you're the president and they're trying to kill you. You're just Joe. You're literally just Joe. And it's your fucking doctor. They aren't going to tell you that's a good idea.
You ever seen White House Down?
You cannot compare yourself and your life to White House Down.
Come on, man.
I watched a short last night, and it was this black comedian, and he was talking about rednecks, and he goes, if there was a war, and it came to American soil, all the rednecks in the South would be like, this is the day we've been waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
And they would line up with their trucks, all these motherfuckers with arsenals in their basement. This is the day they've been waiting for. And the fucking troops would get there, and it would just be bodies and beer cans. And they'd go, what the fuck happened here? And there'd be some redneck that walks up, war's over! Woo!
I think I've seen that same fucking video. The funny part is, the guys up here in the north, when we're close to Browntown, we're like, well, we got about 2 days before they start trying to break in. So, do we go out to the country? Or do we just start booby trapping our front doors?
No, dude, you booby trapped your front door.
I'm going to booby trap the front door, put up my fucking Ring door camera, and I'm leaving town and laughing my ass off when they try to steal a fucking Amazon bomb.
I don't know if you've ever... There's a guy on YouTube that makes videos, and he makes these really intricate packages. He's an
Were there
engineer.
glitter bombs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they have like a bunch of cameras and
Yep.
phones and shit so that he can go find it.
Yep.
And they open it up. And I think there was one that it like shot out an adhesive and then it did the glitter bomb so it would stick to him.
Oh, shit.
I used to get so enamored watching these videos because the engineering work that just goes into this damn box is so ridiculous. I need to get a 3D printer. I think that'd be cooler than hell. The only thing
I think I might know of one for sale.
The only thing is, might have. I don't know. I almost know I'm on a list. If I order a 3D printer online, somebody's showing up to my door.
Why? Because you're going to 3D print me some 3-hole fucking receivers? Edit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Joe. I've never heard of a 3-hole receiver. As far as I know, they only have one.
No, they're 2. You got 2 pins. You get 2 pins.
Nah, Joe, they only have one. Let's just go.
Did you hear the guy that fucking attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband? That queer prostitute that attacked Nancy Pelosi's husband in
How are
his
you
underwear
queer
with a hammer?
prostitute? Oh, okay.
Did you hear about that?
Oh.
Yeah, it happened a while ago. That guy got sentenced to a shit ton of prison time.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
What's fucked up is Nancy Pelosi's husband didn't.
Didn't what?
Why did he have a male prostitute at his house? Oh, well, he broke in through the windows and no, he didn't. I saw the pictures. The guy broke the windows and he climbed in the fucking house. He was a guest. When the fucking cops showed up, the fucking body cam footage, he was a guest.
So you think they broke the windows to make it look like he broke in?
I don't know.
Then probably paid him a shitload of money so that he would shut the fuck up.
Man, I don't know what happened, but the guy broke the windows. He did. And he went into the house. But it looked like a consensual. He was there for a reason. And the fucking body cam footage. Pelosi's husband is like, no, he's a friend. And then the guy attacks him with a fucking hammer.
The math ain't mathin'.
No, not so much.
You know, I know that this is early and it's our first podcast, but I really want to shout out that Chef's Reaction guy, because if there's any chance that we could ever interview him, I would probably shit my pants.
Dude, that guy is so fucking
he is
funny.
so hilarious, and he gets so much hate in his comments. And most of the time, he's just pointing out the discrepancies in what they're saying they're
I
doing.
learned this in Texas.
No, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't. I learned this in Mexico. No, you didn't. But
he's
and
so
some
hilarious.
of those fucking recipes are like, why are you taking 9 steps when it should take 2?
Well, and then the one where they made the pasta and shit in the sink. They just start throwing cheddar cheese in it. He goes, yeah, you know, spaghetti. Just throw some fucking cheddar cheese on it, why don't you? I've never seen anybody put cheddar cheese on spaghetti in my life. Especially not Kraft singles.
Yeah. Chef's Reactions is...
Yeah, if we
Fuck,
we
that-
could ever get a chance to interview that guy, I would be giddy, because that guy is hilarious.
We'll definitely have to figure out the logistics on that because...
Well, there's a
yeah.
way that we can have somebody call in, because I think he's got to be from a bigger city.
Well, if we're going to call out chefs, then we have to call out other people's lives.
Yeah, other people's
Because
lives as well.
their fucking phone interviews for people, fucking amazing. Those guys are awesome. And they cover such a wide variety of topics. I love the fetish stuff.
I know you do. You keep sending me ones about women eating poop and all sorts of other crap.
Well, the one that likes to drink pee, the one that likes to pee their pants. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're into that.
I will not deny. I will not deny that I like peeing peed on. Fuck. It is what it is.
What if you were with that woman though, and she wouldn't pee on you. She just wanted to pee her pants though. I feel like that is like
That's
kind of gross. Like
the Amarashi, the like desperation, gotta pee, and then you pee your pants. I mean, it's kind of cool, but
I feel like if I was with a woman that was into that though, I would almost feel wrong because that's kind of like a childish thing to do. You know what I mean? It would probably make me feel weird.
maybe that's part of the attraction of for guys that are into the women peeing their pants. Maybe that's part of their attraction.
It might be.
That's not my thing.
There's also a lot of guys though. I mean, Reddit is littered with like daddy
Reddit's
dom.
littered with a bunch
Well,
of shit.
yeah, but Reddit's littered with like daddy dom, like little big type weird.
Reddit's also
fetish
littered with
stuff.
I wish I hadn't chopped my genitals off.
I've never heard of that subreddit. That's interesting.
Yeah, visit any of the trans shit. Ooh.
Oh. I wasn't thinking of it in a trans way. I was thinking of it in like a, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I
Yeah,
was thinking.
the whole I regret this, or even some of it's uh, I got bottom surgery and now I don't know what to do because I can't get myself deep enough to actually to like a man trans to a woman.
Oh, like the vagina that they get isn't deep enough?
Yeah, so like they're like I'm trying to
Well, yeah,
dilate
because I
this
mean,
shit.
with a woman, it's basically a never-ending hole. They're not going to be able to give you that as a
Yeah.
man.
Dude, I don't give a fuck who hears this. You have a fucking mental problem, not a genital problem.
Well, I mean, there's some things to be said about that as well, because there's a lot of people that are letting their kids choose their gender, and these are like
These-
sub 15-year-old kids.
Fucking kids that are born like, well, we're calling them they them until they're old enough to tell us what they are.
Well,
fuck you. You're fucking your kid up. That's what the
Well,
fuck you're doing.
right. And the whole until they're old enough to choose, they aren't old enough to choose until they're 18. You can't just be 12 and say, I like to play with dolls, so I want to be a girl. That's not how that works. If you turn 18 and you want to go and have a fucking sex change, that's fine. But these, like, progressive parents that are trying to push it on their children is the problem.
You've heard of Eddie Izzard, correct?
Mm-mm.
Eddie Izzard is the internet can correct me, but he is a comedian. He's been dressing as a woman for a long time. Never called himself a woman. He never went by she, her pronoun.
He just liked to cross dress.
Yeah. Well, he's finally decided I'm a woman. So now he goes by Susie.
Okay.
Susie or Susan, something like that. But he was asked recently if he would take the role of a straight woman in a film. And he said no. Because I'm not going to steal a job from a straight woman.
Right.
I'll play a trans or I'll play a man, but I won't do that. And I've always liked Eddie Izzard.
Sounds like he's pretty level-headed.
He's one of Rogan's buddies, and he's been on there a couple of times, and he's really a fucking straight shooter. He don't fuck around. So yeah, when he was like, I'm not gonna steal a role,
See, and the other thing that comes to mind when you're telling me about this is it wasn't like a split-second decision or I've been feeling like this for a couple months and I want to make a change. This is a guy that for what sounds like years was dressing as a woman because that's how he liked to dress.
Yep.
And finally came to the realization that he wanted to make a change.
Yep.
And that's understandable, and I have no problem with that.
You know what's messed up is that when it comes to that whole transgenderism thing, like 70s, 80s, 90s, when I was growing up, those people were using women's bathrooms. They passed it off well enough. It wasn't a thing. It was nobody freaked out because they just went and used the bathroom they preferred.
Right.
It wasn't until the 2000s that suddenly, if you don't accept me,
Right.
I have a beard and a dress, and if you don't accept me, now I'm gonna throw a fucking fit.
Right.
That shit's always existed. It's always existed.
Yeah.
Now it's
Well, it's kind of like
I'm gonna make a fucking big deal out of it.
it was kind of a Mrs. Doubtfire type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Dude, Robin Williams.
Ah, I miss that son
Oh
of a bitch.
my god, I miss Robin Williams so much.
Yeah, that's always been. It's always happened. It's just never been like, I have a cock, and if you don't rock it, then you're the problem.
Right. Which is fine. I mean, if you want to cross dress and you want to get a sex change, that's all fine and dandy. My problem, really, the only problem I have with the whole transgenderism movement, aside from the if you don't like it, fuck you type shit, because people have their own opinions, is the people that are letting their children make decisions that they aren't informed enough or capable of making.
Yeah, 17 years old, you get a addictomy
Right.
or let my cock off, and then 19, 20, 21. There's a gentleman who wrote a book. He was on the Josh Tolley show. He wrote a book. He transitioned from male to female, back to male, and back to female, and then back to male.
That sounds very expensive.
Oh, and extremely fucking painful. He's scarred. Nothing of his. He does nothing works.
Well, no, it can't.
Yeah, he had it chopped off, bolted on, chopped off, bolted on. I mean, he's the only thing he has is a testimony. That's the
Right.
only thing this guy's got.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to Josh Tolley in probably 10 years. But yeah, he was on Josh Tolley's show, and man, the idea of the in his case, the grandmom wanted a granddaughter. So when the grandma was watching him, he was in a dress and he's playing with toys, girl toys and shit. So he thought at that age, at 4, I should have been a girl. So he just kept with that, and as he got older, he's like, nope, I'm a girl.
See, and I
crazy.
was dressed up as a kid. I mean, my sister dressed me up as a girl. I don't have any scarring from it.
But your sister's a lesbian, so that kind of makes me wonder if she was just using it as a Barbie.
Well, she's not lesbian, she's bi. But at that point, I don't think that she ever did anything with a woman until she was in college.
She's bi?
Yeah. Yeah, she just dated a guy a year ago.
I thought she was living with a woman.
She is now. She was previous to the guy as well, but she's, I can't remember, is it pansexual, where it's when you're attracted to somebody, that it's not the gender, it's,
The person.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Something I've never understood.
I haven't either, but,
Because I've never had a good definition of it.
well, that's because there really aren't.
Listening to other people's lives, I've kind of gotten a better understanding of pansexual, but there's really no definite. Pansexual to me just means you're bisexual.
If you're looking at it in the terms of the two genders, then yeah.
Yeah, the one.
But it's less about the genders.
The one pansexual lady that was on there was like, I'm attracted to male, female, and all the other genders. There are. Sorry, there's only 2. Yeah. So I'm like, you're bisexual.
Right, and the thing about my sister is, even though she is more left-leaning with her thoughts on guns and things, I think she's more agreeable when it comes to the transgender movement and the other movements along those lines. That I don't want to speak for her, but I think that it kind of muddles down the actual, like, people that are in a gay relationship that want to get married, and there are places where they can't, and it kind of dilutes that sort of movement in place of we want to be recognized even though we don't necessarily need it.
Right.
Whereas we don't give a shit. We are of the, if you're in your fucking backyard having a gay orgy, I don't give a shit. Just don't try and make me watch type thing.
Yeah, if I want to see that shit, I'll fucking look it up on
Right.
XNXX. you
Yeah.
know.
Shout out XNXX.
That's my go-to.
I've never gotten a virus off XNXX. But yeah, I mean, I just that's the only problem that I have is that if you have a different opinion, you're labeled as something, whereas if you label something wrong, you're an asshole. But it doesn't. It's just the double standards.
Okay, you mentioned guns in your diatribe. Let's talk about guns.
Well, you want to talk about guns?
I've lost all of mine in a boating accident, but I've had some
okay.
really good
Yeah.
ones.
That must have been a pretty big boat.
It
I didn't know
was-
that you had any friends with yachts, Joe.
It was a big boat. It was a big boat. It was almost a life-ending event. So, out of the guns that you've owned, because you didn't Gopher steal all yours?
Oh yeah, they're in a gopher hole somewhere.
Yeah. So, out of all the guns that you've owned, what was your favorite?
Well, I've only had that Ruger. It was like the Ruger Everyday. It was the budget Ruger. I can't think of the actual name of it.
Handgun?
Yeah, it was a 9.
SR9 or SP9?
I don't know. But I had that Ruger that was kind of a budget Ruger Security 9.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Okay.
kind of like a budget,
Yeah.
which it was a very, very high build quality for it being like a $500 brand new gun.
So there's some really well-armed Gopher out there.
Yeah. And after that, I actually think I've only owned the 2. That and then the SIG P365 XL, which my grandpa had given me that before the Gopher stole it. So, in terms of which one I liked more, it was that one. I have not shot that one, or had not shot that one before the Gopher took it. But the Ruger shot very well. And I do kind of miss the Ruger because that was one that Dave, which we didn't mention Dave. We'll talk about Dave after this.
We'll talk. We'll have to bring him up here momentarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
But Dave, when I was living with JD, just showed up on a Saturday. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Kind of freaked me out, actually. Because I knew JD was gone drinking, and I stayed home. All of a sudden, somebody's walking in the house. And he had a cleaning kit that he had bought for me. I actually still have it. And a bunch of stuff for cleaning a gun. And he just said that he had thought about me with buying that first gun and wanted to show me how to clean it. So we sat there for probably an hour and he showed me how to clean it, and then we just sat there for another probably 3 or 4 because I think JD showed back up around 5 or 6 and we were just bullshitting.
Yeah, this is probably a good place to put that segue of why we call it Mike's Harder Podcast.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out a name, and the name that I had originally thought of was a little too single white male.
A little too, we're already on a list.
Yeah. So while we were brainstorming, Joe threw out, what about Mike's Harder? And it just fit perfectly because Dave, who is our friend that passed away last year, would have loved this.
Yeah. Dave drank Mike's Harder lemonade.
By the gallon, damn near.
Yeah, pretty much by the gallon. And so, in honor of our friend Dave, we decided to call it Mike's Harder Podcast. And yeah, I'm tearing up. I'm a pussy.
God, he would have so much to say on a podcast.
Yeah. Dave would have been beating us with a constitution, and he would have been telling us what fucking idiots we are because we don't like Glocks. he was integral for
Yeah.
sure.
God, I miss him.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic person.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there will be plenty of more moments like this that you guys will get to experience with us. Talking about Dave.
Yeah.
Bitching about Dave.
A whole lot of stories.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
so many fucking stories.
Wait till you hear the cheeseburger fucking recliner story. That's a good one.
Oh, man.
Oh, and I always knew where he slept because there was chains on the floor, and you'll get to hear about that shit too. Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah, he was a big part of our lives.
His memory will live on with this podcast and with
I
all
hope.
the people that loved him.
So, what other guns you got? Is that all you got?
That's all that I have ever owned.
What is your Democrat grandpa gun?
Oh, Jesus. I have no idea.
Now, check this out, folks. His Democrat grandpa has a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
But
He thinks he's a Democrat.
I was gonna say that. God damn it.
He identifies as a Democrat, I should say.
Did you see that the U.S. bobsled team renamed their bobsled the Biden?
Did they really?
Yeah, because nothing's ever made America go downhill faster.
That's fucking funny.
I did steal that.
Well, I think you want to talk about the schedule a little bit, and we'll kind of do an outro. Then.
Sure. Our attempt at the moment is to pick a topic, and then we independently research and study it for about 2 weeks or so, week or two, and then we come back together and discuss what we've learned and see, if we're on different sides or the same side. We're always open to suggestions. So if you throw us an email, we'll look at it. If it's something we want to do, that's something we will do. If somebody wants to call in, we will try to figure that out at some point in the future so that we can debate shit. I always love arguing.
Also, our email is also open to... I don't know. I just lost my train of thought. It's open if you want to email if we have incorrect information. If you want to give us information.
He was gonna say nudes, but he meant.
I mean, it's definitely open to nudes.
But he meant if you want to fact check us, if one of us says something that's incorrect, we will correct it in a future podcast.
Open to fact checking is what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
if you would like to let us know that we are incorrect, give us proof, not your opinion.
Please cite your information.
Opinions are assholes, and if it's Wikipedia, that's not fact. So don't do that. But yeah, if you got ideas for shows, if you wanna fact check us, I'm drunk a lot, so I'm wrong a lot. So just
Bear
let
with
me know
us.
I'm wrong.
All right. Our first topic for the next podcast will be, should prostitution be illegal? Just so everybody knows. So,
Yeah, Everybody loves a whore.
They love a whore until she starts whoring.
Well, the difference between a slut and a whore is a slut will sleep with everybody. A whore won't sleep with you. That was a fucking joke from high school. That shit's funny.
Oh man, I didn't know that there were whores in the prehistoric age.
Fuck. All right, man. This has been fucking fun.
This has been fantastic. I look forward to doing more of these with you.
I didn't know this was going to be like this. This is, by the way, my microphone is still taller than theirs because I'm dominant.
Yeah, well, my dick still gets hard, so I think I'm more dominant.
I've been married 3 times. I don't need it.
I still think that I'm winning here. Oh, crap. All right. Thanks to all the people that have listened to this. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.